YouTube. Like and subscribe. Now. I went to LA. I went to LA to do Wine About It. What'd you guys think? Because I haven't talked to you. I was really happy with it. Good. Hooray. Good. The set. I wish I had a before picture. That set before, the gazebo, broken windows, rat shit everywhere, dusty, like, trim falling off. It was so bad. And then Cutie was like, yeah, we'll just do the first one when you're in LA next. And I was like, no, we won't. There's no way that studio is going to be ready to do a podcast. And they went so hard. And that set is so good. And I'm so glad that I decided to commit to going to LA for it. Because for a while I was like, it is insane for me to fly to LA once a month for a podcast. But I also realized that I didn't want to do another podcast remotely. I didn't want to do a podcast over Discord because it's just not the same. If me and Cutie did Wine About It over Discord as opposed to in that room at the set together in person, it would have been so much worse. So I'm really glad that I'm going out there to do that. So I'll be out in LA once a month. Second Sunday of every month is when we're going to do Wine About It. 3 hours is definitely better than 2 hours. Yeah, I talked to Cutie about that. We're just gonna at every hour, we're just gonna be like, if you're watching on Spotify, there's another episode. We're just gonna make hour-long podcasts on Spotify. So if we end up going 3 hours, we'll just upload 3 separate episodes to Spotify, or Apple Podcasts or whatever. So that's the plan. But yeah, me and Cutie can talk for hours. We do talk for hours off stream, but on stream, Cutie and I can go for 7-8 hours legitimately just talking without prompts. So I think that 3 hours is good. But yeah, the podcast went really well. I was really happy with it. After the podcast, we went to dinner. Not really a before, but you could show this. Ooh, thanks, Space. Check this out. It's not really a before because it looked way worse, because this is after they got this plywood in here. And they painted all of it. It was all white and peely paint and stuff. But yeah, they put all of this in. It is a gazebo. It's insane. They did an insane job. Do a Discord call-in show. Cutie and I think our plan is to go for as long as possible without having guests on. Because guests are just a pain, man. To coordinate getting guests there, and then they can be so hit or miss, and they can be really good for a podcast, so they can kind of kill it. And I'm going to fly out there once a month. God forbid I fly out there to do a podcast and we have a guest that kind of kills it. And it would just feel like a waste to me. I don't know. I don't want to deal with that. Hassan is a guest. Oh, okay. So after the podcast, we all went out to dinner. Lud took us to this really nice dinner. It was me, Lud, Cutie, Jay, Connor Eats Pants, Hassan, Myth. I'm blanking on her name. She's not a streamer though. Lena. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Lena. And the dinner was I don't know how many courses. I was very confused because I was waiting for a menu. And then we didn't order, and then they just brought food. So I was like, oh, Lud must have ordered appetizers. So many appetizers. It took me so long to realize that the meal that we were eating was just a planned many courses that they just bring out to you. And I was like, when did he even see a menu? And why did he order so many appetizers? I'm not going to be able to eat anything. But they weren't appetizers. They were courses. They brought out raw Wagyu in little tiny spoons, bone marrow, fried rice, these eggs that I don't even remember. Also note, I was the only one that had consumed any alcohol prior to that dinner because Cutie had a concussion. Me too. So she drank cranberry juice. So I'm drunk and I show up to the dinner and everyone there is sober. Everyone. So I meet Jay and I was just like, I sat next to him and I'm like, I'm drunk. I'm actually sorry. And he's like, what? Like, I wouldn't have even, this is the first time I met Jay. He's like, I don't know. Okay. And then they brought over these like yuzu shots, like a palate cleanser thing before the meal, I guess, that we were supposed to drink it. And I saw it and I was like, no. And Jay was like, what? I was like, shots. And he was like, it's not alcohol. And I was like, oh, okay, let's go. And then they did get shots anyway of like whiskey that I do not drink. They were like, one of them was a $300 shot. It wasn't really a shot because you don't take it like a shot. It was like a little glass of whiskey that they drank. So anyway, the dinner was crazy nice. It was all really good too. I don't even remember there were so many courses and there were so many fancy things. I don't know. But the dinner was really good. But then I don't even know how we started talking about it. Me and Cutie started talking to Hassan about women on Twitch, and I told him at the beginning of the conversation, I said, Hassan, I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to talk to you about this. I'm scared of you. And he was like, okay. But then we talked about it for like 30 minutes. Like me, Cutie, and Hassan were just like going at it, talking about women on Twitch. And we just got stuck on it. Like we just kept talking about it. And poor like Myth and Lena and Jay and Lud are just sitting there like having to listen to our conversation. Stunlocked, all of us. It was so bad. I felt so bad. But yeah, me and Cutie got a little bit heated. What were the arguments? I don't need to go into it. At the end of the day, what everybody agreed on is like men are trash. Like that's what we established. It was just there were lots of intricacies that we were talking about, and Cutie and I were talking about like our experience as women on Twitch. And then Hassan had like different opinions about it. And then this part is really funny because it's not like I'm not actually mad because he did not mean to do it. But I was like talking to Hassan and like telling him about my experience as a woman on Twitch. And he did not mean to do it. But Connor Eats Pants like jumps in and he goes, no, Hassan, I don't think you're getting it. What she's trying to say is this. And I was like, I've got it. I'm done. I'm done. I'm leaving. I cannot do this anymore. Like, I can't have these conversations. And then I went to the bathroom and then I came back and I was fine. But yeah, that was the dinner. It was super nice. Lud paid for the whole thing, which is crazy because it was very, 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 very expensive. And then we went home and then I went to sleep and the next day woke up. Cutie went to urgent care because she felt like shit. She has a concussion and she grinded League for days after her concussion, and it made her worse. And she went to urgent care. I chilled at the house. I took a nap. Every day, and not that I was there for that many days, I guess it was 2 days, but I couldn't wake up after 6 a.m. because 6 a.m. is 8 a.m. Texas time, and everyone in that house doesn't wake up until like 11:30, 12, so I just didn't know what to do. I was just like sitting in the house. I brought a book. I read a book. I bought another book today. Actually, I'll show you. You guys might enjoy it. Maybe we'll have story time. Dr. Tatiana's Sex Advice to All Creation, the definitive guide to the evolutionary biology of sex. It is a full book about animal sex, reproduction, how animals reproduce. But the way that it's set up is like, maybe we'll just do a story time later. You want to hear we'll give you more of a feel for it. So there's a lot of really interesting things in the animal kingdom regarding sex, okay? Part 1, let slip the horrors of war. Part 2, the evolution of depravity. Part 3, Are men necessary? Usually, but not always. Let's go to part 3. Let's talk about it, because we're already on this, let's go to page 187, Eve's testicle. Eve's testicle. Story time. How did males and females evolve? What was there before? Why do most species only have 2 sexes? When is it wise to be both male and female at once? When should you change your sex? And what makes a boy? And of course, a girl a girl. And the way that she wrote this book is, you know, when people write into a column and they're like, Dear da-da-da, I'm having this problem with my boyfriend. What do I do? Right? So she wrote it like that. So it says, Dear Dr. Tatiana, I'm a slime mold. Physarum polycephalum is the name. And I don't know how I'm ever going to marry and have children. I can only ooze along, so finding partners is difficult. I haven't met one yet. Worse, whereas every other species I've heard of has 2 sexes, mine has 13, and I gather that before you can make babies, you have to convene them all. I don't see how this is possible, and I'm worried I'm going to end up a dreary old mold. Why are slime molds so oversexed? And then she goes into talking about genetics and the 13 sexes of slime molds and how they reproduce. Anyway, that's enough story time for today. Maybe another time. Off of that topic, animal sex, Sammy is coming to Texas early December, and we are going to do an animal sex stream, animal sex educational stream. Not adept. Sammy, my friend from the zoo. We're going to do a whole stream where we talk about animal sex and animal reproduction and echidnas and how they have a 4-headed penis. Talk about hyenas. Female hyenas have an extremely long clitoris. Extremely long. To where it looks like a long penis. I'll show you. And they birth through it as well. This is a hyena clitoris. And they birth through it. Isn't that bizarre? Look forward to that stream with me and Sammy. It'll be really neat. There's a lot to talk about.
We got a #1 victory royale. Yeah, Fortnite, we about to get down. 10 kills on the board right now. Just wiped out Tomato Town. My friend just got down. I revived him. Now we're heading southbound. Now we're in the Pleasant Park Street. Look at the map. Go to the mark sheet.